Well, hey, and welcome to another episode of Beetle Dustino, coming at you again today with yet another video and yet another What's in the Box video. I haven't done one of these in a long time. I think it's been like 5 months according to my looking through my video history there. It kind of a series I keep going that I just take a look at what's in a box set. So, and we're going to do a little John Lennon box and an Ultimate Collection box as in just a couple of days, and happy birthday to John and Sean for tomorrow. But on Friday, on the 10th, we're going to get the new Power to the People box set released, and the next, the 5th installment in the Ultimate Collection series. And I'm very excited about it. I've been lucky enough to have a preview copy sent to me from the Lennon estate, and thank you once again on that. And I've really been enjoying it and just blowing my mind. I'm driving around listening to it in my car, and I know I'm probably the only one in the state, for sure the city, if not the state, that's driving around listening to this already. And just blowing my mind. I've been privileged enough to do that, so thank you guys so much. And I just want to kind of show what has led to this 5th installment. Take a look at what's in the box on the other ones. So I've already done one of them, and I'm going to go back and do all the rest of them here. So, but stay tuned for the first one in the series, which of course you imagine, you all know that, after the intro.
I'll take the box! The box!
You took the box! Let's see what's in the box! Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
Why do you keep going on Wheel of Fish and not taking the red snapper? I would take the red snapper. Come on, get the red snapper. Why aren't you getting the red snapper? Don't take the damn box. There's never anything in that box. Come on, haven't we learned yet? Well, there's nothing in that box, but there is something in this box. Oh, this silly intro. I haven't done it in so long. All right, but yes, this is the Imagine Ultimate Collection box set, the deluxe version. So, of course, the original Imagine album came out on September 9th of 1971 in the US, October 8th of 1971 in the UK. And this version of the box got released on October 5th of 2018. Always around October, the beginning of October there, to celebrate John and Sean's birthday. This really set out a great template on what they've been following on this, and what most of us Beatles fans consider one of the best box sets in our collections, especially the best box set series in our collections. This Ultimate Collection set has been just fantastic, and this is where it all started. Kind of its simple beginnings. We'll show you the front there and the spine. And I say simple, but it isn't. I mean, they have expanded so much more. Not the next release to this, which is the other one I've already done the What's in the Box on, which is the Give Me Some Truth one, which is a compilation. It was just the newly mixed songs on that compilation, featuring also the Blu-ray versions of that with the 5.1 and everything. Surround sounds and all that. But this was kind of the first that kind of brought in the template of, yeah, there is a lot of kind of doubled up stuff, just kind of another mix of each song on here. But it's so interesting the way that they mix it to make you realize those elements of the song and stuff like that, and kind of the layers of it, which is really fascinating. Especially us fans of it that, have listened to the same song over and over again, and now we're getting to hear new elements of it. And then when you hear that same song again, you're like, oh yeah, there's that little thing I kind of missed there in the background. So, I mean, this is really kind of cool. And the fact the price on this was really reasonable, still to this day, is pretty reasonable. I know people are complaining about the price on the Power to the People one. I think it's worth it for what you're getting in there, but these were very in check on the prices here. And another nice thing about these is they've all been this just 10 by 10 about square setting, that they are all staying about the same size. The only thing is they're getting a little fatter every time, but otherwise this part of it, the height, the width and everything staying the same. The width this way is going a little wider every time, but they really are just doing a great job. We'll pull it out of the box. Now there's nothing in the box. There we go. But we got the book and the folio, in this one. Kind of start taking a look at the book here, and I'll show you a few highlights out of the book. But a nice hardback book, Paul McCartney. Not all the archive collections have had a hardback book, and that kind of, yeah, brings that one down a little. What I've been doing with these, I started with the Power to the People one. I took my hype sticker and put it up in the upper corner here. I did this with all of my Ultimate Collection ones right now. So there's what the hype sticker would have looked like on it. That's not how this would come. That's just what I decided would be a good idea. And let me take a look. I'll just kind of look for some cool pictures or cool pages here, and I'll show those as I go here. Nice picture of John and Yoko there. Great one of John. Come on. That's the cover there, but not with all the everything over it. Great one of Yoko there. Very nice. There you go. Great one. And yeah, there's George sitting there with them. That's a really great one. Of course, with these, we did get, I'll kind of show it to you as I go. I'll talk right now. Nice one of Johnson at the piano there. There was the film that they released too, the Give Me Some Truth, Imagine film, the kind of the two together that came out on the DVD or Blu-ray. Nice picture of the estate there. Oh, sticker I just found in mine. I've never seen that before in here. I must have flipped by that I don't know how many times. That's kind of cool. Of course, some great pictures of the tape boxes here. And, you know, really good information on the recording on it, kind of what all was going on there. Some great ones of George there with the slide guitar and everything there. Or steel guitar, that would be, wouldn't it? That's a funny one of John. There's a really nice one of John there, too. I'm more showing you the pictures than what's said there. If you want to see what's in the book, buy the box. You can get a nice copy of it for not a bad price. So, but yeah, this is a 120-page book, I believe. Yeah, 120-page hardback book. There's John and Yoko there with the grapefruit thing. Another cool one of John and Yoko there, and then the tape boxes again. Some more good ones of John and Yoko. Power to the People and Open Your Box. Images that we're kind of getting familiar with the Power to the People box that's coming out. Oh, there's a really cool one of John and Yoko. That's a great shot of them there. That is a really nice picture of them. There you go, doing his activism with the God Save Oz, all that. I love too when you Google John now, he's listed as a musician and activist. I love that. I love that. And I hear people say that artists shouldn't be speaking out, and I totally disagree with that, because would we be listening to any of this album if it wasn't for them speaking out about politics? This whole album pretty much is about politics. So, you know, hearing people say stuff like that, I think they're missing the whole point of this all. I just want John on the phone. I'm sure he's recording that conversation as the FBI was listening to him, so he started listening to them all too. Hear all the clicks and the pops. Of course, the one-to-one film that's talked about in there. The Blu-ray, I think it's Blu-ray 3 in the Power to the People box has got one of those conversations on there with Alan Klein. Yeah, that's pretty much it in the book here. But just always a really nice book. One of the highlights of this. And then we do get the folio here with the disc. And this one didn't really come with much more than the disc and the book. No posters, no postcards, anything like that. Kind of got the folio folded out there already. I don't think there's much on the spine there. But there's the back, and you can see all the track listings here. Kind of hold it there so you can see everything. Of course, we got the Blu-ray disc 1 is the Imagine the Ultimate mixes. So you get the Imagine the album with the new remix. It does feature on the Blu-ray the 5.1 and stereo 24:96. And then there's the singles and the extras would be the next bit there. And then you also got the quad sound on Blu-ray 1, which was really unique. There was a quad mixed version of Imagine that came out, and they did put that mix on the Ultimate Collection here on the Blu-rays, which is really cool. And then it's also got the Imagine outtakes, which are mixed in 5.1 and everything. Blu-ray disc 2 has the raw studio mixes, extended album versions, and then also all in 5.1, and the raw studio mixes and outtakes. And then the Elements mixes from the master multi-tracks, all in 5.1. And then the Evolution documentary, which is one of the coolest parts about these. So we'll kind of show that there. And then, of course, the CDs do kind of break that down. So CD 1 So there's the 2 Blu-rays and then the 4 CDs. CD1 is the album with the ultimate mixes on it. Remix in stereo 16 by 44.1. Also on there, you do get the bonus, the extras there, the singles and extras, all kind of combined onto the main album disc there. I'm not always a huge fan of when they do stuff like that, but I guess they did that on this one, on the same disc. I do kind of like them separated, but that is what they did here, so I guess that's what we got. CD2 does go into the Elements mix. It'll be the first part. There's just 4 songs that get done up in the Elements mix, which is Imagine, strings only, Jealous Guy, piano, bass, and drums. Oh My Love, vocals only, and How, strings only. So a little different on how they kind of took the take on that. Where the Power to the People one, the Elements mix, I think it's just 4 songs too, but it's all strings only on that. And then there's some album outtakes on there. And then also the singles outtakes on disc 2, CD2. Then we got CD3, which is the raw studio mixes, which is extended album versions, and then some outtakes also are on there. So I'll just hold that there for you to see the track list for that. And then CD4 is the Evolution documentary, which is a big highlight of these Ultimate Mix collection, the Ultimate Collection boxes. We'll take a look at the inside of the folio here. So we start out with the Blu-ray disc in this one, and then it says Imagine there. As you fold it out, and then it's a tri-fold. And we get the 4 CDs there. And we'll take a look at each of the labels here. Of course, there's Blu-ray 1 and Blu-ray 2. And the Blu-rays feature kind of the blue label on this. And a unique thing with the Imagine one, kind of starting out, I suppose they were kind of getting the feeling, they're all in the kangaroo pouch, as everybody calls them, but no extra sleeve for the Blu-rays, where everything since, starting with Give Me Some Truth on, the Blu-rays have got their own little sleeve that are also in the kangaroo pouch. So we'll move on to the CDs now. So CD1, and we got kind of the gray label on it, making sure it was up right there. And of course, the mixes on this, I forgot to mention, are done by Paul Hicks and Sean Lennon. Of course, Yoko overseeing on this one. But yeah, there was CD2. There's CD3's label. They're all pretty much looking the same, but I always like to show each of the disc. And there's CD4, which completes out the Imagine Ultimate Collection box here. I'll get the folio put back in with the book there. And there is what is in the box. So yeah, they really started out with a good process here. I think they did a really good job. I'm starting to get my notes here again. 120-page book, the 2 Blu-rays, 4 CDs. Really cool with, you know, the 5.1 surround mix on the Blu-rays, plus the quad sound on this one too, the quad mix of the album, which is pretty unique on that. I always do go through prices on these too when I do a What's in the Box, and you can still readily get this new through John Lennon's website, You Discover Music. I'm sure Amazon's got it for sale. I'm sure other retailers, maybe even your local record shop, might still have a new copy there. And they should be about $100 at any of those sites. I think literally at John Lennon's website, it's listed as $100. So I did look at Discogs, just kind of curious if there's any used copies floating out there and kind of what the used market is looking at on it. And I did see one copy on there for $50. So I would say anywhere between $50 to $100 should get you into the Ultimate Collection Imagine box. So a pretty good value on this one. And of course, it's not quite as big because we don't have the full tracks done up in the Elements mix, or the full tracks. And well, I think, yeah, we do got the full raw studio mix here. But on the newer ones, the Plastic Ono Band, Mind Games, those have had, if they do an Elements mix, all tracks from the album are on there and so forth and so on. And even they added on the Elemental mix to the Mind Games one. They just kind of keep expanding it with different ways to do it. And I think it's really fascinating. I know some people do complain that they're doubling up the same track over and over again with a different mix, of course. But like I said, it's really cool getting to see those elements and, you know, kind of how it went from a demo into the studio rehearsals, into, you know, just the studio jam on it, to the actual, you know, album. and so forth. I think it's a really fascinating listen to each of these albums, and that's why I think they do so well with these boxes. I also think they do so well just keeping the package very similar, that they're all sitting on our shelf exactly the same, you know, like maybe just a little wider, you know, as they kind of expand to maybe more disc or even a thicker book, you know, on these. And I don't know. I just think the Lennon estate really does a superb job with these boxes. And I'm not saying that just because I was given the recent one, but I've really enjoyed these ever since they've came out, and they started out great in 2018 with the Imagine one here. And it does seem, for how big of an album this is for his catalog, that this one did get a little ignored when you look now at Plastic Ono Band and Mind Games. But I don't know, too. In a way, I think this is just right. I think they've got everything on there that you need. And the fact you can pick this up for, you know, $100, I think it's a really great value on that. So where they had more disc and more, you know, elemental mixes and this and that, it would be that much more money too, I suppose. Yeah. I think this was a really good balance of, you know, great offerings and great affordability on there. So really good job with the Imagine box on this. So, and I really do like the Plastic Ono Band and the Mind Games and the Power to the People, and even the Give Me Some Truth compilation one is really a great little box. So anyways, I think that should pretty much cover this. So I'm going to get signing out. Before I do that, though, once again, I want to thank all my subscribers, and thanks to you new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And do hit the notification bell so you know when I got new videos coming out. Also, please give the video a like if you liked it. And like I always say, if you stuck around to this point, you must like it. So please give it a like and do leave a comment. I love having a discussion with everybody. Let me know your thoughts on the Imagine Deluxe Box Ultimate Collection. Do you have it in your collection, or do you got maybe just the 2 CD version, or maybe the 2 LP version? There were several options out there, and you can't go wrong with any of them. Or did you supplement it with the 2 LP version along with your Super Deluxe, or you know, what route did you go? Just let me know your thoughts on the Imagine Ultimate Collection box. All right, but I'm going to get fully signing out. I am Beetle Dustino, signing out.